Hello my loves and welcome back to my Anastasia Finance YouTube channel. Today we are going over chapter 2 of my debt-free formula Financial Freedom Foundation Level 1 course. We're specifically focusing on habit 4 and 5 of the financial freedom health habits. And with that said, let's get started. Financial Freedom Foundation Level 1 Debt-Free Formula Course, Chapter 2, 5 Financial Freedom Health Habits. Habit 4. Wealth Guardian. Be the guardian of your wealth by firmly protecting your wealth, starting with safeguarding the smallest amounts. You must see yourself as the guardian of your wealth, starting from the smallest amounts. You must see this guardian of wealth role as your duty to not only yourself, but also the lives of the people you will touch in a positive way in the future as a result of your discipline. In a way, you are like a superheroine or a superhero for your wealth building journey. You have to take being the guardian of even the smallest amounts of wealth seriously, because when you face greater foes of wealth building who seek to steal your treasure, you will have the skills and fitness to defend your wealth. There will be times when your greatest foe is yourself, because circumstances will arrive in your journey that will test you and will hit your weak points. And that's when your inner strength, financial fitness, financial skills of being the guardian of your wealth will kick in like muscle memory to defend you against your former weaknesses from being reactivated and exploited. You must prepare and brace yourself for these circumstances by building your inner strength of financial fitness and financial skills to combat these challenges to come in different chapters of your financial journey of life. Again, take this guardian role seriously and think of every penny you are saving like a superheroine or a superhero, seeing every human life as precious. Your savings, especially the savings you earn, are literally your money that was extracted from the blood, sweat, pain, injuries, heartbreak, and tears that you worked so hard all your life for. You survived all those hard and almost unbearable days to get to this point of becoming this guardian of wealth who protects their precious hard-earned savings and wealth. Do not squander this opportunity you created for yourself and were given by the universe by not listening to this extremely important advice. You must learn to firmly guard and protect your wealth, starting from the smallest amounts, because these habits you learn and boundaries you set to protect will become like muscle memory for you in difficult times that test your strength, fitness, and skills of being a wealth guardian. When you are in debt and without a plan to get out of it, you have not earned your right to start your investing journey outside of investing in your education and in yourself. You need to at least have a plan for getting out of debt and be taking action on that plan in order to earn your right to invest outside of your education and yourself. I noticed in Western nations, such as the United States especially, people in debt are celebrated. We celebrate when someone goes into debt for a car, we celebrate when someone goes into debt for a home, we celebrate when someone goes into debt on their credit cards to purchase items or experiences. First off, you don't own these items you bought with debt. The bank does, and you're leasing it from them. Secondly, debt is not something that used to be celebrated, and it is not necessarily always celebrated in nations that are not in the West. I don't live in a Western nation, and where I live, we do not celebrate debt. I noticed one of my grandmas does not like being indebted, and I really love that, and I have adopted this mindset. We are basically people who are repulsed by debt and have a negative reaction to it. My grandma grew up in non-Western nations, and she is an older generation person, which I think is what helped shape her attitude towards debt. In the past, debt was something that was frowned upon, but somehow, at some point in the last 100 years, in Western nations especially, being an indebted person went from being something that people were criticized for to something that people are now celebrated for. It's something to be compassionate towards yourself for having been conditioned to believe the lie that debt is normal and should be celebrated in order to keep you an indebted servant in the rat race. And at the same time, you must take full responsibility for getting yourself out of debt. You can be a responsible and accountable person without beating yourself up. You can't learn to run before you learn to walk, and you can't learn to walk before you learn to stand. And you can't learn to stand before you learn to crawl. It's the same thing. You have got to learn to crawl first, then to stand, then to walk, then to run. In this case, before you begin investing, you have got to learn to plan to get out of debt, be actually taking action to get out of debt, begin paying off your debt, and begin your journey as a saver. When you do begin your savings journey, there are many pitfalls you have to avoid. The same is true for your investing journey. Because this is a course about getting out of debt, I will not be going into these dangers because I don't want you to feel overwhelmed, and I want you to focus on the basics of creating a plan for freeing yourself from debt and taking action on that plan. Once you begin following the debt-free formula I give you in the next section, you're ready for the next step of starting your savings journey. At that point, you can begin the second level of my Financial Freedom Fundamentals course, which focuses on savings and how to structure your savings for wealth building. Great advice is worth its weight in gold if it saves you from loss. Do not be too confident of your own wisdom. Invest in smart investments wisely and intelligently. At the early stages of where you are, your best investments are in your education and in yourself, such as your mental, emotional, and financial health. Something I also want to touch on here is that lowering your tax is also a way to lower your expenses, because that means you get to keep more of your money. This is something I will dive into deeper in high levels of financial freedom courses because, again, you are at the basics and we want you to hyper-focus on this stage of taking action to begin freeing yourself from debt. Knowing your income versus your expenses is also important in guarding your wealth in order to ensure you are not spending more than you make. If you spend more than you make, you are losing your hard-earned wealth instead of guarding your wealth. Habit 5. Taking action positions you to maximize luck and opportunities. Intelligence and knowledge are useless if you do not combine them with the behavior and habits to take action on your dreams. Experience is the best teacher, so go on and do something aligned with what you want, as opposed to only pursuing knowing something based on what someone else said. You want to have a mix of doing and knowing. Doing will also help you learn, which will add to what you know firsthand. This is something that is simple and straightforward. If good luck comes your way, you will be able to take full advantage of it if you are a person of action and have positioned yourself to maximize that opportunity with your habits, discipline, and investment in yourself and your financial freedom journey. Perhaps the consistency will also bring good luck your way because you may attract the right opportunities as well. People are always watching. The universe is always listening. Before I head out, I have to remind you to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Click the bell notification button, turn on all notifications for my YouTube channel, and turn on all notifications on your YouTube app so you do not miss my future videos. And with that said, I will see you on my next video next week. I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you for taking care of your future financial self, and I will see you on my next video. Have a wonderful day.